The training hall of the Zaran Combat Academy thrummed with metallic echoes as alien cadets slammed their armored fists into reinforced targets. The air smelled of ozone, steel dust, and the faint musk of adrenaline, the universal scent of warriors, regardless of species. At the center stood Commander Vortha, a towering reptilian war general whose black-plated armor shimmered, like obsidian scales. His voice cut through the hall like a blade. Repeat after me, humans fear pain. Their nerves are fragile, their bones softer, their spirits easily broken. A chorus of alien cadets echoed him. Humans fear pain. Vortha paced slowly, claws ticking on the metal floor. You are training for border battles. If you ever face a human soldier, remember, they retreat when pushed. They bleed easily. They break easily. A ripple of snickers passed through the cadets. At the far end of the hall, near the observation door, Cadet Nira Hale, a human girl barely 18, tightened her jaw. She wasn't supposed to be there yet. She was scheduled for her training session half an hour later, but arriving early was a habit she couldn't break, especially when the academy treated humans like fragile curiosities. Nira folded her arms. She had heard it all before. Every species had some myth about humans. Too soft, too emotional, too reckless. And every time Nira proved the myth wrong. Vortha continued, pain is the greatest deterrent for lesser species. But for us, he slammed his armored fist into a steel target. The entire hall shook. The target dented inward like clay. We are beyond such weaknesses. The cadets cheered. Nira sighed. Then she spoke, loud enough for her voice to carry. Funny, because from what I've seen, you all avoid sparring with me like I'm contagious. The hall fell into a silence so sharp it felt like the air had teeth. Dozens of alien heads turned. Commander Vortha slowly pivoted, his slit-pupiled eyes narrowing. Cadet Hale, he growled, you were not summoned. Nira shrugged. Didn't plan to be, but I also didn't plan to listen to you lecture about humans being weak. For the 9th time this week, a few cadets gasped, others looked thrilled. Vortha's nostrils flared. You disagree with my assessment? Nira cracked her knuckles. I disagree with the idea that humans fear pain. We just handle it better than most. Vortha's tail lashed behind him. Prove it. There it was. The challenge, the trap, and the opportunity. Nira stepped forward. What do you want me to hit? A smirk spread across Vortha's reptilian face. My armor. The hall erupted in whispers. Even the cadets who disliked Nira went pale. Hitting a Zaran commander's armor was like punching a starship's hull. Nira simply tightened the tape around her knuckles. Okay, she said calmly. Which part? Vortha extended his arm. The armor across his knuckles glinted, thick as a war shield. Strike here, he commanded. If humans truly do not fear pain, show us. Nira inhaled slowly. Pain was familiar to her, not fearsome. Just a signal, a warning, and sometimes a challenge. Her father used to say, pain teaches you what your limits are. Strength lets you push past them. She had lived by that. Nira lowered her stance, coiling strength through her hips and spine. Vortha watched her with faint amusement. To him, this was going to be a spectacle, a foolish human breaking her hand for pride. The cadets leaned forward. Nira struck. Her fist met Vortha's armored knuckles with a crack that echoed across the chamber. A metallic ring vibrated through the hall. Nira didn't scream. She didn't flinch. She simply shook her hand once. And Vortha's eyes widened. A hairline fracture zigzagged across his armor's knuckle plating, a visible crack. A crack caused by bare human bone. Gasps filled the room. One cadet whispered, horrified, That armor can stop kinetic rifles. Another muttered, her hand should be shattered. Vortha stared at the crack. He looked at Nira. She smirked. Human bones aren't as soft as you think. But Vortha's pride was not so easily wounded. His grin returned, wider, more dangerous. Beginner's luck, he hissed. Hit it again. Nira rubbed her knuckles. All right? She struck again. Another crack split the armor plate. The hall trembled as cadets realized what they were witnessing. Not a human breaking under pain, but a commander's armor breaking under human resolve. Vortha's smile faded. Nira flexed her fingers, ignoring the sting crawling up her arm. Still think I fear pain? Vortha's voice dropped into a low growl. This is not over! Vortha stepped back and signaled to the training hall's attendants. "Bring me the full armor set," the cadets murmured nervously. Full armor meant war armor, not training gear. Reinforced plates designed to withstand explosions, corrosive atmospheres, and shock impacts. Nira raised an eyebrow. "Planning to fight me like I'm a tank?" "Planning," Vortha replied coldly, "to make sure you break before my armor does." Attendants brought out the heavy chest plate. Arm guards, shoulder pauldrons, and greaves. Vortha donned them piece by piece, the plates locking into place with mechanical clicks. "You will strike every plate once," he declared. "If you fail to damage any of them, you concede defeat. If you succeed, I will retract my statement about humans." "Deal," Nira said. A cadet stammered. "You can't! That armor is—" But Vortha cut him off. "Begin!" Nira approached the chest plate first. It was a meter of reinforced alloy layered over impact gel. Even a plasma lance couldn't easily pierce it. She took a deep breath, shifted her weight, and punched. A sound like a thunderclap filled the hall. Pain flared across her knuckles, but she didn't let it distract her. When she pulled back her hand, a shallow dent marred the armor's perfect surface. Vortha's jaw tightened. Next was the shoulder plate. Nira struck with a tight hook, angling her fist just right. Thoom! Another dent, then the forearm guard, then the thigh greaves. Every strike landed with precision, not wild strength, but calculated force. By the sixth hit, blood slicked her knuckles. Her breath shivered in her chest, but she held her ground. Vortha watched in disbelief. "Why?" he demanded. "Why tolerate this pain? Your nerves must be screaming." Nira shook her swollen hand. "Because pain doesn't mean stop. It just means keep your guard up," Vortha hissed in frustration. Ridiculous. But there was fear now, buried beneath his arrogance. Fear of the girl who bled and laughed and kept hitting. And Nira? She wasn't laughing for pride. She was laughing because she felt alive. Only one plate remained, the central chest core. The strongest piece, the heart of Zoran armor design. Vortha planted his feet. "If you fail here, human, all your efforts mean nothing." Nira wiped blood from her hand onto her pants. "Good, then this will mean something." She stepped back, rolling her shoulders. Pain throbbed through every finger. Her knuckles were raw. Her skin was split. Her bones felt strained. But her spirit was steady. She remembered the first time she broke her hand as a child, punching a reinforced training pad, because her instructor had told her she wasn't strong enough. She had cried, but she hadn't stopped. Pain had taught her endurance. Endurance had taught her will. Will had become her identity. Now, standing before an alien commander 3 times her size, she felt the same fire burning through her veins. Nira inhaled, exhaled. She sprinted forward and drove her fist into the chest core, with everything she had left. Crack! Silence swallowed the hall. Nira stumbled back, gripping her hand. The pain was blinding, sharp enough to blur her vision, but she stayed standing. Vortha didn't. He stared down at his chest core in disbelief. A massive crack split the plate in half. The strongest armor in the academy, broken by a human girl's bare fist. Cadets stared like they were witnessing a myth come to life. Vortha looked up, voice hollow. "Humans do not fear pain at all, do they?" Nira grinned through gritted teeth. "We just don't let it stop us." Medical bots rushed forward, scanning Nira's hand. The bots beeped with alarm. "Multiple microfractures detected." Nira waved them off. "I'm fine." "You are not," a bot protested. "Later," she said firmly. Vortha removed his shattered armor piece by piece, each drop echoing defeat. Finally, he knelt. Not out of reverence, but out of respect. "I was wrong," he admitted loudly, voice echoing through the hall. Humans do not fear pain. They embrace it. They endure it. They overcome it. Cadets murmured in awe. Nira scratched the back of her head. "Well, we try." Vortha chuckled, a low, grudging sound. "Cadet Hale, you have earned the respect of the Zoran Combat Academy, and you have humbled me." "Didn't mean to humble you," Nira said with a crooked smile. "Just meant to stop the lectures." Vortha laughed fully now. "Then consider them stopped." He extended his massive clawed hand. Nira stared at it, then extended her own bruised, bloody knuckles. Alien and human shook hands. Cadets erupted into applause, but Nira only winced. "Okay," she muttered, finally turning to the medical bots. Maybe now you can fix my hand. The bots swarmed her instantly. As they lifted her onto a stretcher, Vortha called out, "Cadet Hale!" She looked back. "You cracked my armor knuckles first. Few warriors in the galaxy could do that. Never doubt your strength again." Nira smirked. "Only if you stop doubting humans." Vortha nodded. And for the first time since she joined the academy, Nira felt something rare and warm spreading through her chest. Acceptance. Because she had proven more than strength, more than endurance, more than pain tolerance. She had proven humanity. And in a galaxy where humans were underestimated, mocked, and doubted, one girl with bruised knuckles had shattered the myth. And an alien commander's armor with it.